We were waiting all day on Friday, and then it broke at the end of our show. So we didn't get a chance to give you our hot take on the sentencing of the first Gilbert goon who pled guilty to manslaughter in the death of Preston Lord. For those who are unfamiliar, maybe you're new to the Valley, joining this conversation, Preston Lord was a 16-year-old boy, lived in Queen Creek. It was at a Halloween party. It was a house party where the parents didn't know that there were 200 kids in their home drinking alcohol. The parents were in the house. The kids were in the barn and then around the neighborhood as well. Joe and I did a field trip out there and did a video of that a while back. And, it was kind of a wide open area. This is a more affluent neighborhood, big yards, and some lots that were undeveloped at that point. Plenty of places for teenagers to hang out. Drink, do whatever they were doing.
Yep.
So these guys who had a habit, this what they call a hybrid street gang, but they're a street gang of hoodlums, and they had a history of finding random people and beating them up. It was kind of a Fight Club type gang where they said, "I know, let's go to the In-N-Out Burger and raise some hell," and they did.
Sometimes they'd beat each other up. Sometimes they'd roll up to a parking garage and get in a fight, be all kinds of miscreant activities.
Sometimes it was strangers, sometimes it was classmates, whatever it was. So anyway, a lot of youth violence. The police at the time said, well, we didn't know they were all connected because none of the victims told us it was the Gilbert Goons. So the Gilbert Goons is the name of the street gang. They named themselves the Gilbert Goons. And the police said, well, we didn't know it was all related because the victims didn't tell us that it was related. This would be akin to having a serial rapist operating in your neighborhood. And the police saying, we didn't know it was a serial rapist because none of the victims told us that their rapist had raped other people. That makes no sense. And it's just shoddy at best police work. And I am definitely restraining my vocabulary because of the FCC right now.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Preston Lord culminates at this party the 28th of October, 2023. Preston Lord is beaten to death. Wrong place, wrong time. Didn't even know these guys. They just started raising hell, and he ended up being the victim. And they beat him, and they beat him, and they beat him, and they filmed it, and they posted it online. And he died. The first of those that surrounded him was sentenced. 19-year-old William Owen Hines. 19 years old, I said. Not only had he done this, William Owen Hines also was involved in two other of these random beatings where he just, let's find somebody and start punching them. But also was drinking and driving and slammed into somebody and gave them a traumatic brain injury. So we've got 4 distinct incidents of this guy. He pleads guilty, and then he gets sentenced.
Yeah, judge sentences him to 5 years for that crime that involved the drinking and driving underage and slamming into the gentleman, giving him a traumatic brain injury. He got 5 years for that.
That feels light to me.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And then with Preston Lord's death, he got 12 years for manslaughter. So we're up to 17 years. And then also is going to get some probation after he is out of prison in 17 or so years.
He gets probation for the other 2 beatings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And could have received 21 years just for what happened to Preston Lord and Preston Lord losing his life. Judge said 12 years for that, 5 years for the what was deemed a aggravated assault case.
That's the drunk driving, running into
17 total years plus probation is what William Owen Hines receives.
Okay, so after the sentencing, Nick Lord, this is
Preston's
dad,
father,
said that he is not disappointed by the sentence, but said that he would never be satisfied, that no sentence would ever be long enough, saying, I'm not going to say that I'm pleased. We've accepted the terms of the plea deal. Nick Lord said his family was bracing itself for the next cases and making sure the other 6 defendants accused in his son's beating are held accountable. There are a few aspects of this that become very interesting. First is that it sounds like Hines admitted to kicking Preston Lord in the stomach and then claiming that it was as I was kicking him that I realized he was unconscious, and then it was too late to stop, so I had to kick him. And then I was telling everybody else, whoa, stop, guys. I don't believe you, first of all.
No.
Second, you were an active participant in the beating. you can't claim that you were the guy holding the camera. There's going to be one kid that's going to say, I didn't actually beat him. I was just holding the camera, right? You didn't stop it. You knew it was coming, but they're going to say you were an accessory to this, but he's going to say, I didn't actually render a blow. That's one of the other defendants.
Not just a beating that killed
a kid.
The kid.
This Hines cat claims, I have a substance abuse problem.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, I've been a drunk since I was 15. Oh, okay.
Not an excuse.
Not an excuse. You got behind the wheel. If I get behind, I'm a grown man. Look at me. I'm 40. I'm a man.
It's debatable, but yes.
If I get drunk and I get behind the wheel and I run into your kid, if it had been me behind the wheel drinking and I had hit this kid, this William Hines kid, and I gave him a traumatic brain injury, would a judge give me 5 years for that?
I think you'd get a lot more than that.
I think you're exactly right. So we're being lenient because of this kid's age? Well, he's immature. I don't care. He's an adult. Well, he has a substance problem. Well, that is a problem. And now somebody else has a traumatic brain injury because of it.
Are we being lenient because he went first out of these 7 Gilbert goons?
Absolutely.
I think that's a big part of it.
Well, he's going to rat on the others. I know that it's not part of his plea deal. And remember, we talked with our lawyer friend about that a few months ago, and he said they don't actually put that in writing because if it's in writing and he goes to prison, then he's labeled a rat. So I think he's cooperating, but they're not going to put it in a plea deal. But I'm a little miffed about the whole 12 year. The kid is dead, and one of the assailants gets 12 years?
Yeah, it doesn't feel right to me.
No, it doesn't feel right to me at all. I feel like the 17 years would have been more appropriate simply for the Preston Lord assault. Probably, in my mind, another 8 at least for the drunk driving, giving a guy a permanent brain injury.
And how about some kind of prison for the other 2 incidents?
And that's it. And he gets probation for 2 other beatings, which is par for the course.
Yeah, I mean, that we should be shocked it's not probation for all of it because that has been how these cases have been treated. It's, you beat somebody with brass knuckles, that's probation.
Probation for everybody.
Oh, you got in a fight at an In-N-Out, probation.
All of a sudden, the county attorney, Rachel Mitchell, has turned into Oprah. You get probation, and you get probation, and everybody gets probation.
But not now. Now we got tough. We got 17 years.
I mean, 17 years is not nothing. I don't want to say that it's nothing.
But somebody's dead here.
Somebody's dead here.
Somebody else
Brain
presumably
injury.
will never work again. Probably won't be able to drive again. Their life has changed
Certainly
forever.
Yeah, their life has certainly changed with a traumatic brain injury. 5 years for that. That feels light. Feels very lenient to me. So what does that mean for some of these others then?
Well,
I bet this is not the lightest sentence we see.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to say that kid that's holding the camera, I'm going to say that they do some sort of really mamsy-pamsy plea deal on him.
Well, 2 more have settlement conferences coming up at the end of this month. So we should know pretty soon what's going to happen with them.
I think what they want to do is throw the book at the the Talon Renner kid. That's the one that delivered what they called the
hammer punch.
Hammer punch, right, which they think might have been the death blow. We don't know for sure. But he delivered this hammer punch, and he had some martial arts training or something. I think they're going to throw the book at him. That kid's probably going to get a lot. I wouldn't be surprised.
What's a lot? Is a lot life?
It's going to be something to life. 20 to life, 50 to life. I think that's what he's going to get.
Okay.
But then I think the kid holding the camera, they're going to go easy on him. I mean, they go easy on everybody else for everything else. For Pete's sake, you can beat somebody up. Some random stranger gets beat up. You get probation.
You're there.
Yeah.
You're part of the group.
Yes.
You could have done something to stop it. And instead, you chose to film it and show it to everybody who could see it.
Agreed. But that is not assault. Like, that's not punching. You're an active participant in the gang. That's you're colluding with them, yes, but you're not. So I think that's the argument they're going to make. I bet he gets the lightest sentence. We're going to find out. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this is the lightest sentence, but I think we're going to find out.
Thanks for watching The Chris and Joe Show. Click to see more from Chris and Joe, and tap the button in the middle to subscribe to KTAR News.